community.
Well, the key part here is that Mike Morrell said that he relied on analysts in Langley as opposed to the people on the ground. And he chose to discount what his own CIA station chief was saying on the ground. That's kind of interesting.
Look, I think what's really happened here is what Morris says, this email has sort of reopened this in the same way that in Watergate, it was this sort of quiet, private discovery that there were tapes in the White House. It had also died down, and I think Richard Nixon would still be President of the United States today, through hook or by crook, had the tapes not been discovered. And that's what restarted. And this email from the White House, that's what everybody had said. Is there a way to is there any involvement here of the White House, which makes it obviously a political issue, the re-election of the president overriding the truth? And that's why I think it's all reopened. Watching Carney today, I have to say again, they don't pay him enough. On the first question is, if this was a release of information for a request on Benghazi, how can you tell us it isn't about Benghazi? He simply says, I have no idea, ask State Department. But then when you point out the fact that this is the only time, well, it isn't the only. There's one of these rare times when you get a high administration official going on all 5 shows. It happened only once in the Bush administration. It never happened in the Clinton administration. And if they had not been Benghazi, does anybody imagine she would have been on the 5 shows because of a demonstration in Cairo? That's ridiculous. The briefing, the appearance was all about Benghazi. Of course everything in the memo is about Benghazi. And when Carney denies it, he simply looks foolish.
Now, I didn't pull the soundbite, but a few weeks ago you said right here on this panel that Republicans should move on, that they should kind of leave Benghazi alone, that it was a dead end. Have you changed your perspective?
Yes, because of the appearance of this memo. It's, to me, equivalent of what was discovered with the Nixon tapes. The point is that Republicans have done a terrible job in building the case. Even today, I have to say, the questioning was disjointed. It was not organized. If they had appointed a special committee long time ago, the way it was done in Watergate, we would have had answers on this and the country wouldn't be tired. But what I did say was the reason it would not go anywhere is because the lack of interest of the other media. And what's changed now, and we saw it in the briefing room, is that I think the other media are somewhat embarrassed by the fact that unlike Fox, they allowed themselves to be stoned and spun and rolled for a year and a half, and now the memo appears, and it's obvious that they missed the story.